You, you were convinced that everyone in that room could see your nervousness, your anxiety, your torn on this, your uncertainty, your poverty, your secret struggle. You were convinced. But here is the devastating truth. They couldn't. They can't. And while you were busy managing an impression that existed only in your own head, you missed the opportunity that was right in front of you. This is called illusion of transparency bias. It's bias number 28 in our 225 plus bias series. My name is Kali Cousins, Africa's premium high performance thinking and strategic execution coach. The illusion of transparency is the tendency to dramatically overestimate how visible our internal states are, our emotions, our intentions, our nervousness, our knowledge gaps, our lack of public speaking, our private thoughts, how transparent they are to the people around us. We feel something intensely on the inside, anxiety before a pitch, like uncertainty during a negotiation. You feel guilt after a mistake, excitement about an idea, and we assume that that intensity is radiating outward like a signal so strong that everyone in the room is receiving it loud and clear. But they are not. Research by psychologist Thomas Gilovich, yeah, Victoria Mevdev, and Kenneth Savitsky consistently demonstrates that people dramatically overestimate how much of their internal experience leaks into observable behavior. Your inner world feels like a glass house to you. To everyone else, it looks like a world. You think people are seeing through, but they are not. You are not nearly as transparent as you think you are. And that gap between how you exposed you feel you are and how exposed you actually are is costing you confidence, is costing you income, costing you influence, costing you revenue every single day of your life. In business, a consultant is invited to pitch to the board of a major corporation the biggest opportunity of her career. She has prepared extensively. Her proposal is outstanding. Her research is deep and credible. But as she stands up to present her proposal, her heart is hammering. Her mouth feels dry. Her hands is shaky. She stumbles slightly on her opening sentence. Inside, she feels completely exposed. They can see I'm nervous. They can see I don't feel worthy of this room. They can see I'm an imposter. She rushes through her most powerful slides. She underplays her most compelling data. She closes weakly, shrinking from the energy. And the moment actually came and passed. The moment actually deserved this energy, but she pushed through the energy in such a way that the energy never made impact. Afterward, the board chair put her aside. That was impressive. You carried yourself with real authority. We would like to move forward. How do we start? Can you send in your fears? She stood in that room convinced she was visibly unraveling. She saw a composed, knowledgeable professional. Yeah? Why? The consultant was thinking that everybody was seeing her fault. The people who were watching saw her as composed, knowledgeable, professional. Has it ever happened to you? It has happened to me a million times. So what's the point? Now, the nervousness she was certain was radiating was almost entirely invisible, and her response to a feeling that nobody else could see nearly cost her the deal. Think about it. This also plays out in negotiations. A business owner feels desperate, cash flow is tight, he needs this contract urgently. He is convinced his desperation is visible in every word, every pause, every micro expression. So he concedes too early. Can you do it for 1 million? The price is 10 million. He concedes. He drops his price before being asked. He gives away leverage he never needed to surrender. It is 10 million, but we're running promo. We can give you for 2 million. His desperation was internal. His concession was real. The illusion of transparency turned a feeling into a financial loss. The same in relationship. A husband makes a mistake, forgets an important anniversary, mishandles a sensitive conversation, falls short of a commitment he made. He feels consuming guilt. In his mind, the guilt is written across his face, evident in every interaction, impossible to miss. So he overcompensates. He becomes awkward. He avoids eye contact. He over-explains. He brings up the mistake repeatedly, not because his partner has raised it, but because he cannot believe they aren't seeing what he is feeling. His behavior, driven entirely by his own assumption that his guilt is visible, actually creates the tension he was trying to manage, and things goes awry. Alright. Now, his partner, who had processed the situation and moved on, is now confused by his strange behavior and begins to wonder if something else is wrong. Is it this thing? Are you sure you've not cheated on me? Are you sure you've not done this? So the illusion of transparency didn't just distort his self-perception, didn't just cost you, you know, your energy. Then it manufactured a relationship problem that didn't previously existed. It manufactured, losing money that you should have earned. Know it. Nobody's seeing those your weakness the way you are seeing them. Now, what's the fix? 3 moves, immediately applicable. Number 1, remind yourself consistently before every high-stake interaction that your internal experience is largely invisible. Before a pitch, before a negotiation, before a difficult conversation, a public presentation, pause and tell yourself this truth. What I feel inside is not what they see outside. My nervousness is mine. My doubt is mine. My anxiety is mine. My nervosity is mine. They see my words, my posture, my preparation, and my presence, not my private emotional weather. This single reframe can reprogram you. Practice it consistently. It will restore the confidence that the illusion of transparency has been quietly stealing from you in your most important moments. Number 2, stop managing impressions that only exist in your head. Every time you over-explain on the deliver, shrink from a room, or concede. Yes, that's the word. You concede ground in a negotiation because of how you feel. Ask first, is this feeling actually visible, or am I responding to my own internal experience as though it were public information? Most of the compensation and self-protective behavior we engage we manifest. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, that we manifest during high-stake activities, during high-stake moments, is a response to an audience that exists only in our minds, in our brain. So stop performing for an audience that isn't watching the show you think you are putting on. Be certain about that. People are not seeing you as you are seeing yourself most time. Most time they see a better you than you see. Number 3, use the illusion of transparency to extend grace in your relationship. When someone you love or work with behaves oddly, seems withdrawn, overcompensates, acts with unusual awkwardness, consider that they may be responding to an intense internal experience they are convinced is visible to you. Instead of reacting to the behavior, reach toward the feeling. Ask, is something going on for you? Is something going wrong? This one question, asked with genuine warmth and concern, can dissolve in seconds what the illusion of transparency has been building into a wall between both of you that will backfire for both you and the person. So, Here's what I want to leave permanently in your thinking today. The version of you that exists in your own head, that anxious, exposed, uncertain, unworthy of the room version of you, is a private broadcast that almost nobody else is receiving. The world is not watching your internal struggle with the scrutiny you imagine. They're not seeing it. People are far too occupied with their own internal broadcast, their own illusions of transparency, their own problems, their own insecurities, their own emotions, their own behaviors, and their own world and demons to be monitoring yours with intensity you fear. You walked into that pitch more composed than you felt. You sat in that negotiation more powerful than you believed, but they believed you. You showed up in that relationship more present than your guilt allowed you to credit. And every time you shrank, every time you considered, every time you rushed, every time you underplayed, every time you apologized for an internal state that was invisible to the room, what you've done, you gave away something real in response to something that wasn't. From today, from today, me, stand up. Let's stand up in our rooms and in rooms. Let's stand up in those rooms fully, knowing that we are more than enough. So pitch at your actual feeling, not the lowered one your anxiety constructed. Price what you are worth. Negotiate from your real position, not the weakened one you imagine. You imagined the one that was created by illusion of transparency. Show up in your relationship from your own actual heart, not the defended one you assume exposure built walls around for you. The glass house you've been living in exists only in your mind. Step out of it. Occupy that room. You are actually deserving of all the things you think you deserve. And people know you deserve it. Arise and shine. Now this is bias number 28. You are more composed now, you are more credible, and you are more powerful in the room than you have ever given yourself credit for. I want you to share this with every professional speaker, entrepreneur, coach, every mentor and leader who has been shrinking from imaginary exposure. Make them know that they are not exposed as they think. My question for you today: when was the last time you fed the mind that makes the money? Click on the link below and register for my masterclasses and webinar series. See you tomorrow.